How do I stay shredded whilst eating over 4,000 calories a day? Most people think that's impossible, but this is literally what I eat in a day. Alright, it's 8:30 in the morning and I always grab 500 milliliters of water because my throat is so dry in the morning. So I just sip away at this over the course of the next 10 minutes. And I always like to drink this whilst doing something productive, like making my bed. I'm getting a bit hungry now, so it's time for meal one. So for meal one, we've got 9 scrambled eggs with 15 grams full fat butter. I want to talk about this actually. Have you seen people on social media who almost like starving themselves to get lean? I'm over here like, the hell? Like, I eat like a crazy motherfucker. And if this is your first time seeing me and you're thinking, oh, this guy's just young, he's got the genetics, let me pop up a picture. This is what I looked like when I started working out. This is also what I looked like when I was 3 years into working out. And this is me now. I just finished my scrambled egg. But there's still one problem. I'm still hungry. Alright, so I've got 300 grams of Greek yogurt and I am going to add half a teaspoon of honey. But if I was in full fat burning mode, I would not eat any carbs before 12. And it's something I wish somebody told me 2 years ago because it would have made me so much more progress. Because the most important thing for fat loss is insulin control. Alright, it's Luca from the future. Now you may be wondering, what the hell is insulin control? And it is something that you need to know because it's very important for fat loss. So, let me break it down for you. So, think of your body like a car. You run on 2 fuels, petrol being your carbs and diesel being your fat. In the morning, if you pour your petrol in first, your body's like, great, we'll use that as fuel all day. But the problem is, when petrol's in the tank, your body locks the diesel away. So your fat essentially gets locked away and cannot be used as a fuel source. However, if you don't put petrol in the tank before 12, guess what? Your body has to run on diesel being your stored fat. So the rule is very simple. If you eat carbs early, you will burn carbs. If you avoid carbs in the morning, you will burn fat. This is exactly what we want. We want to burn fat. We want to use our stored fat as energy and shed that shit right off. And you will get shredded as hell if you use your fat as your primary energy source. I've finished my yogurt now and I am actually full this time. After this meal, I went downstairs and had a cold shower like I do every single morning, and then I also hit a posing session like I do every single morning. Then after that, I got some work done, then played basketball for a little bit before our pre-workout meal. So for the pre-workout meal, we've got beef and rice. When you get beef mince, you have to at least get 20% fat and above. And I promise you, eating more fat will not make you more fat. It's time to cook. So beef and rice is probably one of my favourite pre-workout meals because the beef keeps me full in case my workout's extra long. I'm not going to feel hungry during my workout. And of course, because carbs are the superior energy source when it comes to intense workouts, rice is going to be the best for that because it's very quick and easy to digest. Now I like to spice up my rice a little bit with a bay leaf. It gives it a nice little bit of extra flavour. And I feel really fancy eating this rice because it's got a leaf in it. It feels like it's extra natural. Now something else that I wish somebody told me years ago is never cook in oil. Even olive oil. When you heat up oil, it oxidizes and it's not good for you whatsoever. It literally just inflames your body and it's going to make fat loss way harder. And it's just not good for your health. So you may be wondering, what do I actually cook with? Either butter, ghee, tallow, or any sort of animal fat. Cooking with those types of fats are great for hormone optimization. And personally, I actually think cooking with fat is nicer. I think it adds better flavour to my food. But I'm now going to dig into this food because this shit tastes good. Alright, I finished my food and I'm going to let that settle for about 2 hours before I work out. So in the meantime, I'm going to get some work done. But I'll see you on the drive to the gym. So we're heading to the gym now. It's been almost 2 hours since I've had that meal. Though you want to feel energized and feel full enough so that you're not going to feel hungry during your workouts, you do not want to actually feel full when you're working out because working out with a full stomach is nasty and very uncomfortable. So I'd always leave it between at least an hour and a half to 2 hours. In this instance, since I had beef and rice, beef mince is naturally more fat and more filling, so I'd opt for 2 hours on more filling meals. But if you were to just have chicken and rice, just leave an hour and a half, that'll do you. Or if you're like my buddy here, having a banana, you only need like 15 minutes to let that digest. Everybody's been asking me, how do you get such detailed abs? Show them, and the truth is, you only have to do this exercise, a crunch variation that you can progressively overload on every single week. Bodyweight ab exercises are pretty ass after you do like 15 reps, so this is my personal favourite. So the number one mistake I see people say on this machine is that they do not render back enough. So essentially, when you're doing this, I'll do a lighter weight. Alright. You want to make as many belly rolls as you can. So round your back as much as you can, and that's going to allow you to really squeeze your core. So grab your handles, and roll it, slam down, squeeze your core. You don't have to go all the way up to here, because then you're losing leverage of your abs. You only have to go till just before you get hit straight. So go like that, back up, boom, up. And another thing that's really important is to go fast on the way down. Be as aggro as you can, and that is also going to help you squeeze your abs. And that is what I've been doing for years. And it's a game changer for your ab development. That's us finished the workout, and we were in there for about 2 hours, and I did not feel hungry at any point during that workout. Even now, I'm not that hungry, even though we hit a crazy leg day. But that is the beauty of eating beef and rice. It fills you up, allows you to perform to your best, and it tastes pretty damn good. So I'm gonna head back home, and I'm gonna get some eggs and homemade chips. See you back at the house. Alright, I'm back from the gym and I need some food, so I'm going to cook up some boiled eggs and my personal favourite, homemade chips. This is all cooked in ghee, so before I put this in here, I melted down some ghee on the hob and spread it across the whole tray. But this is a delicacy that you need to try. Got the 9 eggs boiling and the homemade chips are slowly cooking. Alright, so the chips have been on for 20 minutes and I've just simply seasoned this with salt, pepper and thyme. They literally look better than restaurant standard chips. Alright, so the food is ready. I've got my eggs. I've already ate a few. And my potatoes. If you've never tried the homemade potato recipe, you need to try one. If you do want the potato recipe, literally just message me on Instagram and I'll send you the video over. Anyways, this is a great meal to feel full after a workout. You got your protein and fat from your eggs and some super duper tasty homemade chips. So with everything you've seen today, have you noticed a specific pattern that I have with my eating? Every single meal, there's something quite obvious that I do to ensure I don't put on fat. And that is my ingredient intake. This meal right here is 4 ingredients. My breakfast is also 4 ingredients. My lunch was also 4 ingredients. I purposely keep my ingredient intake below 15. If you think about it, it's less food for your body to process. Like if I were to have a protein bar, that would have almost double the ingredients than all 3 of the meals that I've had today. I do believe ingredient intake is one of the most slept upon things in dieting. That is one of the main things that allows me to stay shredded, is the fact that my body has so little to process. Like everything I'm eating is so clean, and most of the food is very nutrient dense. The eggs and beef are just packed with nutrients. And after watching this video, if you were to implement the way that I eat into your diet, there are 3 rules that you need to take on board. Number 1, do not eat any carbs in the morning. It's going to spike your insulin and it's going to limit the amount of time that you're using your fat for fuel. Number 2, never cook with any oil. Only use butter, ghee or tallow. They're the purest ingredients that you can cook with. And number 3, minimize your ingredient intake. Buy everything whole. Eggs, 1 ingredient. These homemade chips, 3 ingredients. Potato, salt and thyme. Buy every single ingredient on its own, and if you want to really enjoy your food, just combine those ingredients together. For instance, you know those pre-made sandwiches that are like a triangle? That is what you want to avoid, just ready-made meals. They have preservatives in it, they've got some nasty chemicals in it to keep it edible. Make your own food, it makes so much of a difference. The only reason why you get those type of foods is because it's so convenient. If you're at work or school or university, literally everywhere around you just has ready-made meals. And no ready-made meal is good for you. You might be wondering, why do I not eat any chicken? I thought everybody eats chicken to get lean. I do eat chicken. I only ever eat it if I'm going out because it's a very convenient thing to have. But you don't actually need chicken to get shredded. Stuff like eggs and beef mince are just so much more nutrient dense and they're a lot more filling. Your number one priority when it comes to shedding fat is making sure you feel full. The moment you start to crave food is the moment you're not going to commit to your diet, because feeling full and snacking go hand in hand. If you feel full, you won't snack. If you don't feel full, you probably will snack. And you can see with the volume of food that I'm eating, I don't really have room to snack. So eating more satiating and filling foods is essentially the only real way to get rid of your cravings. And another thing I want to talk about is that I never track calories. For the sake of today's video, I did. I literally just focused on minimizing my ingredient intake, not eating any carbs before 12 o'clock, and making sure I feel full. I finished that meal a while ago and I got some more work done. And it is about 10:30 right now, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm still a little bit hungry. Alright, so this is definitely going to be my last meal of the day. I'm having more Greek yogurt. Now, I'm going to be completely honest, I am a fat ass, but I am a smart fat ass, because I know that I will always stay lean if I eat what I'm eating. My main goal of this video is to prove to you that you do not need to starve yourself and eat chicken and rice every day to get shredded. Like, even though I'm eating more than the average adult, I'm still eating by fat loss principles. The last thing I want to say is that you should try this way of eating. Now, you don't have to eat the volume of food that I'm eating. I am aware that I'm eating a lot of food. But if you just take away the key principles of eating higher fat, not eating carbs in the morning, not cooking with any oils, making sure that you're eating single ingredient whole foods, I kid you not, there is a very high chance that you will shed off 5 pounds of fat within a week. This way of eating literally burns fat in your body. And make sure to message me on Instagram telling me how much flatter your stomach feels.